And we want to get you started with a live look outside this morning. The camera's not in black and white, y'all. It is gray and gloomy out there, and that's kind of the story of today's weather. A little slick on our roads as well, but it looks like things are moving nicely along I-25 along this stretch through the metro area. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Erica Lopez. Meteorologist Carly Cassidy with us to talk about the forecast. We had some really gorgeous weather this past week. Maybe today's a day to kind of chill, maybe get some projects done inside the house.
There you go. Forgot to find the silver lining.
Yeah.
Right? We can't have the sunshine every day. We usually have 300 days throughout the year. This really is not going to be one of them. A lot more of the cloud cover, the foggy conditions. You saw it from the view before, now here as well. Can't even see the tops of the buildings there. This is mainly going to be the view. You can also find a little bit of mist out there, so just be careful as you are headed out. Reduced visibility all the way across down to about 1, possibly 2 miles, and even down to below that, only about a 1/10 there in Evergreen. So give yourself a little extra time, a little extra space as you are headed out. The activity, most of it has already moved on through into the overnight hours. Of course, what's left behind, the fog, a little bit of some light snow showers, some flakes, some flurries, and then of course that mist. Here's what's left of that rain snow mix. Now snow just off towards the eastern plains. Also be aware there on the roads, may find a little bit of those slick conditions too, since we have had a lot of activity kind of pass on through. Down to the south, not nearly as much. We will have some breaks in the cloud cover, a little bit more sun there, a little bit warmer, but otherwise for the rest of us, it's mainly going to be a cloudy and a chilly day. So grab the extra layer, keep it around. This unsettled pattern also sticks around, so we've got just a bit of everything, including a winter storm watch as we go into our upcoming week. So we'll talk all about those details coming up in a few minutes.
Carly, thank you. Denver police confirmed someone was stabbed on 29th Street near Delgany in Rhino. The department posted about it on social media around 7:40 last night. One person was hospitalized this morning. We do not know the extent of their injuries. Authorities are working to identify a potential suspect. The city of Boulder is buzzing after this week's Sundance announcement. The film festival will head to Boulder in 2027. It's been in Park City, Utah for all 40+ years, bringing us iconic indie movies like The Usual Suspects, 500 Days of Summer, and Reservoir Dogs. It's not only a cultural institution, but also brings a major financial boost. Just last year, the festival says it generated $14 million in state and local tax revenue and created more than 1,700 jobs. Now that the news is official, independent theaters in Boulder say that they're already starting to set the stage for the big event. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez shares more from the Dairy Arts Center, one of the future screening sites for the festival.
Year-round, the Bodecker Theater inside the Dairy Arts Center in Boulder keeps things popping for independent film buffs.
Because we're the only theater that offers this kind of film all year round, every year.
Vice President for the Dairy Board of Directors Nick Meyerson says,
this theater that we're in here right now is kind of the main attraction, I think, for the Sundance Festival.
The 10-day event won't call Boulder home until 2027, but that's not slowing anyone down at the dairy.
We're definitely talking about it, and I think planning's already started.
He says plans to accommodate a giant crowd that comes with an event like the Sundance are in the works.
Usually films aren't shown in any of the other theaters in the dairy. However, all of the other ones, there's 3 others. The others will be outfitted with technology to be able to show films.
Meyerson says, like a good film, every detail is not revealed right away.
I don't think we quite know what it will look like. It's going to be exciting, and the opportunity is going to be immense.
A chance to continue supporting the independent film industry after the pandemic left so many private theaters struggling.
Well, there was nothing more devastating for arts when you can't come to see the art, right?
Meyerson says the Sundance Film Festival brings with it a new dawn for the industry in Boulder.
The Sundance Institute is very interested in partnering with the dairy and other institutes in the area beyond just the festival, but to bring a lot of their initiatives here to Boulder.
Connecting filmmakers from around the world and new film buffs to Boulder.
We're always going to be who we were in the beginning, and we're just trying to share that with as many people as we can.
Car buyers across Colorado are speeding up their purchases now, trying to get their new cars before a federal auto tariff takes effect. This week, the Trump administration announced a 25% tariff on cars and car parts that are not made here in the States. It's set to go into effect April 2nd. Even for industry experts, it's really hard to predict which cars will be affected and even by how much, since manufacturing is so global. The dealerships are saying buy your car now before the tariff goes into effect because even they don't know what's all going to happen.
Even some of the cars that you think are American made might have elements of the production process that happen overseas, and even cars that you think are, German or Japanese have some elements that happen here. I would say this, it is complicated.
Experts say over time, as parts typically made overseas start to make their way to the States, those costs could come down. They also say the tariff structure itself might even change again soon, so they won't know how it all shakes out until it actually does. There were more than 200 planned protests around the United States yesterday in what organizers are calling the Tesla takedown. Hundreds of people were spotted at showrooms worldwide. They say they're targeting Tesla because of CEO Elon Musk. Musk's role as head of the Department of Government Efficiency has raised anger and concern for weeks, following massive cuts to the federal workforce.
What I'm seeing is a lot of people are losing their jobs. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and it's sad to see people's homes listed on Redfin on my email on a daily basis. And, what are people supposed to do?
Protesters said that they want to disrupt Tesla's financial standing by urging people to sell their Teslas, dump its stock, and join protests at dealerships to try and lower Musk's influence. These protests follow another round of federal budget cuts, this time at the U.S. Institute of Peace. Sources tell CNN most of the workers at the agency received termination letters on Friday night. They say those letters claim the firings went into effect immediately and their medical benefits would end tomorrow. The institute was founded during the Reagan administration. It promotes research, policy analysis, education, and training on international peace and conflict resolution. New video this morning after a small plane crash into a home north of Minneapolis, Minnesota on Saturday. It's pretty wild. Officials say no one in the plane survived. It's still unclear, though, how many people were on board. No one on the ground was hurt because that home was empty when the crash happened. The Federal Aviation Administration said that the plane left an airport in Des Moines, Iowa, and it was headed to an airport in Minneapolis. Neighbors described the moment that it happened.
So I was in my room. I had this sound and my whole house was shaking. I was afraid, is my house going down or what? Then, lo and behold, my kids said, oh, there's a plane crash. And then we look at the window, there's smoke, dark smoke everywhere. So we have to just walk away from the house because we don't know what's going on.
Scary. This morning, the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating the crash.